Hi everyone, my name is Claire Marie B and welcome to Sanctuary Stretch. This is going to be a bit more of an intermediate class than our other video. If you're not familiar with how to activate your T-zone by lifting up that pelvic floor and really getting control over your deep core abdominals, you might like to try the other video that's already on our YouTube channel. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications for new videos that are coming up. We're going to get stuck into bending, breathing and believing. So just find your sit bones. That might mean being on a chair or using a yoga block that you can prop up underneath you, and that can help you get into a cross-legged position, where you might prefer to have your legs out straight. Depending on how your body feels, it's really important for you to listen to your own body and move within your own limits. And also this is based on Pilates, which is an exercise program, so you need to seek medical advice. Make sure that it's suitable for you and your circumstances. Okay, so let's get started. Drop our awareness down into our body. Become aware of our posture, so switch on that deep core abdominals by lifting the pelvic floor, tightening between the hip joints. Shoulders creep down and back, so you get that activation in the center of the back, pulling the shoulder blades together. A little tuck of the chin, nice long neck. Feel your spine is tall. All those little spaces being formed between the vertebrae of your back. Inhale deeply, activating the core, activating the shoulders and the chin position. Exhale, reinforce all of that control. Out through the mouth, long, slow exhales, emptying the lungs, squeezing the rib cage down and together, getting that upper activation of the abdominals. Just enjoying being strong in your posture, imprinting it into our default setting for perfect posture. Just changing those bad habits. Inhale, switching it on. Exhale, executing control. Good. And then become aware of this moment. Hear any sounds around you. Notice them, let them go, scan for a new sound. Notice gravity holding you there in that space, safe and secure, knowing you're not going to float away. Feel the ground supporting you underneath. And be here in this physical realm, present in the moment. And then reach into that vertical connection, connect to your Heavenly Father. Picture the Creator God of the universe bending down from His throne to be intimate and personal with you, knowing that you're setting aside time to nurture that temple that houses that deep personal relationship that you can have with Him. And ponder this week's scripture. It's from Isaiah 43, 1-3, and it says, "Don't be afraid, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. When you go through deep waters and great trouble, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. The flames will not consume you, for I am the Lord your God, your Savior." Let those words soak deep into your soul. Keep your awareness of your posture and your breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Start with some wrist circles, so long arms extending out and just starting to take nice big circles. Starting in one direction first, you'll feel a little crunchy in the joints. It's because they're so hard working and we don't look after them very much. Go the other way. Nice big wrist circles. Good. And then shoulder circles, so just bringing your fingertips to the tops of your shoulders, and we're going to circle nice big circles. See if you can circle so big that you can get your elbows to touch. Open them out wide. They'll feel a little crunchy too. That's okay. Go slow. And then let's go the other way. Bringing those elbows all the way to touch. Nice. Beautiful. And resting down. Let's do some finger stretches. So just create tension and release with each finger, one at a time. And try to think of how amazing fingers are and how much they do for you every day without really getting much credit. You know, we wouldn't be able to hold a loved one's hand or feed ourselves, steer the car, write a note. And fists, and extend and bring the fingertips together and just press there. Nice little stretch. Good. Drive the hands all the way up above. We're going to interlock our fingers backwards, driving the fists up towards the sky, stretching the shoulders here. Just be aware of the position of your head. You might feel like you're squashing. You can bring your head back slightly. Drive those shoulders up, 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 up. Keep your awareness of your core. And we're going to do a little twist to one side. Feel that stretch right down one side of the back. It's only a small twist to get big effect. Back to center. Bring the hands down, widen the elbows. Feel that stretch in the shoulders. Good, and then driving back up, all the way up, and twist the other way. And back to center, and down, wide elbows, shoulders back. Beautiful. Bring the hands all the way down into the small of the back. We're going to start by interlocking the hands here and just winging those elbows back, getting the shoulders to open. Stay with your breath, be aware. And then drive the hands down, opening up the chest a little more. If you can't get into this position, you can just use the floor, bringing the hands down, trying to bring the fingers together if you can, and extending the chest upwards. Good, and coming back up into butterfly stretch now, bringing the feet together. Soles of the feet together, coming onto the sit bones. You want to tilt that pelvis forward, so you're sort of pushing the pubic bone down towards the floor. As you inhale, little tilt. As you exhale, feel gravity just pressing heavy on the insides of those knees, pushing them down to the ground. You can use your feet as a little leverage to help get that tilt of the pelvis. And for a more intense stretch, you're going to begin to lower your chest down. You can widen the elbows and press them into the inner part of those knees. But the idea is to bend from the hips here, not to tuck the chin, because you still want that neutral neck. We want to be focusing on stretching the inner thighs. Good, and coming all the way back up, we're going into a spiral stretch. So one leg's going to be extended out long, the other one bent in with the foot into the thigh. You want to twist your torso so that you're facing that bent knee, lift up tall, and then side bend all the way down so that bottom arm can sit down inside the ankle there. And we're going to reach with that top hand. No tension in the neck. It doesn't help. We want to get that stretched right down the outside of the body. Inhale, tilting the chest outwards and up a little bit, and exhale, reach down. And coming up, let's swap sides. Remember to turn away from that long leg, over that bent knee, lift up tall, and down we go. Stay with your body and your breath. Let your body soften as you enjoy the stretch. Think about how good your body's going to feel after all these moves and stretches. Good, and back up. Coming back into that cross-legged or seated position where you have your sit bones down. We're going into worship stretch now. So we're going to take both arms up towards the ceiling, extending them out long. making sure that the shoulders are down away from the ears. Close your eyes and lift your chin and chest upwards. I want you to close, as you close your eyes and picturing your Heavenly Father, you're going to think of the things in your life that you're grateful for. Really get a visual of them. Bring a smile to your face. As you lift your hands in worship, feel that warmth in your chest. That feeling of gratitude begin to climb up along your arms, all the way to the fingertips that begin to tingle. It's almost spiritual, touching the heavens. Thinking of a choir of angels singing. Take a nice deep inhale, in through the nose, and on the exhale, out through the mouth. Slowly lower the arms down, down, down. Feel that gentle rush of circulation. Beautiful. Nicely done. Come around into a twist. We're just going to use our knee and the floor for anchors as we push ourselves to look behind. Inhale, and on the exhale, just deepen that stretch a little further into the twist. Good, and around the other side. Good, and coming back around. We're going to come down onto the mat and into crook position, ready to do some of our Pilates exercises. So feet, knees and hips are all in alignment like train tracks. You want to have a natural arch in your lower back and your nice flat pelvis. Arms by your sides, shoulders down and back, chin is tucked. We're going to start with a lift and extend circle. So as we lift one knee to 90 degrees, you're going to tighten your tummy, inhaling, switching your T-zone on, and then on the exhale, as you extend the leg long, you're going to begin to circle it, keeping control of that long exhale and making sure the hips aren't rocking. The bigger the circle, the more challenge. Keep an eye on that stabilizing leg, make sure it's nice and still. Inhale, knee back. Exhale, place it down. Let's swap sides. Inhale, lift, tummy is tight. Exhale, extend, circle out. Watch that stabilizing leg. Feel the hips wanting to splay and open, and you're going to keep control with your T-zone. 3 circles. Inhale back and resting down. Good work. We're going to go up into a hip drop. So coming up into our tabletop position, just imprinting the spine, so rolling the pelvis back, flattening out the lower back. Inhale, tummy tight as you lower one knee out towards 45 degrees, and then exhale, bring it back up. Inhale, tummy tight to reset, and then exhale as we bring the leg back up. So as you're lowering, you're inhaling and thinking of lifting the pelvic floor, and as you come back up, you're exhaling, trying to resist the air. Don't let the hips open. You can even keep your hands on your hip bones here and feel when they start to want to splay out. Gain control. Inhale, lower out. Exhale, back to center. Resting down. Good, you should be nice and warm down in those deep core abdominals. We're going to go into a crucifix stretch. So bringing the arms up, palms facing each other. You're going to tuck the shoulders down and back. Keep the ribs in place. Don't let them pop or flare. So you're going to exhale. Empty out the lungs. Slowly resist gravity, lowering the arms down, 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 out towards the floor. Once you feel the shoulders start to open up, extend through the fingertips. Tuck the shoulder blades, underneath the ribs. And just hover about 1 centimeter above the floor. Feel the weight of gravity pressing down. Extending out through the fingers, switching on all those muscle fibers in the arms, and then begin to press up against resisting gravity. Up you go, slow, slow, slow. These are really gentle passive stretches for the shoulder, help to increase with our range of movement. Good. And then staying in Superman pose now, which is we're just turning the palms to face the toes, still in neutral spine. We're going to add in an abdominal curl here. So you're going to inhale, turn on that T-zone, lifting the pelvic floor, and then exhale, squeezing the ribs towards the hips, scooping through so they're not bulging up. The abs aren't bulging up towards the ceiling, they should be pulling down and sort of folding like an accordion. Inhale as you roll back, exhale as you curl up. Keeping control as you lift that tummy, making sure that it's active. Every time you come back, you're inhaling and resetting by lifting the pelvic floor. And every time you exhale, you're curling up, lifting the shoulder blades and the head off of the mat. Don't worry too much about curling the chin to the chest. You really want the ribs to draw towards the hips to give you that lift right here, rather than this. This is really only just flexing the top part of the spine. You really want to get that lift from the center of the back, reaching down past the thighs. If this is too easy, you can always come up into tabletop, imprint your lower back, and do it the same way. Curling up, pulling the tummy down. Good, and resting down. You should be nice and warm in the upper abdominals as well. So we're going to work them together. So coming up into our tabletop position, we're going to resist here. So these are our resistance breaths where we're pushing the hands into the thighs and flattening the lower back. You're going to inhale for a count of 4, lifting the pelvic floor. So inhale 2, 3, 4, hold and resist for a count of 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Long exhale out through the mouth, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As you're exhaling, you're feeling that corset get tight. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, lift the pelvic floor, 2, 3, 4, hold and resist. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Long exhale out through the mouth for a count of 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold and resist. All the way up to a count of 7, and then a long exhale, flattening the spine, feeling the corset, exhaling for a count of 8, and resting down. Oh yeah. Everything's nice and warm, feeling it working just by holding that position. Obviously, the harder that you press, the more resistance that you get, the more challenge you're going to get from those. But those breath cycles are really great. All right, now that those core muscles are really ready to work, we're going to go into a dead bug. So coming back up into tabletop, so the knees are out 90 degrees, they're above the hips, they're not coming forward, which makes it a little bit easier. We're going to extend the arms up into Superman pose. Inhale, tighten the tummy. Exhale, extend. Opposite arm, opposite leg. We're noticing that we don't want our lower back to lift. So that's what you're paying attention to, that you're getting that flat spine. Inhale and reset before you extend, and exhale using that long exhale out through the mouth to keep control. Last one. And resting down. Oh yeah, you should be feeling that. Obviously you can repeat that and do that again if you want more challenge. You want to extend the session. We're going to add in a pendulum now, which will work those oblique muscles on the sides of the abdominals. So take your arms out a little wider on the floor. Shoulder blades are still down and back. We're going to come up into tabletop, imprint the spine, and squeeze the knees together so that they're touching. Inhale, tummy is on as we rock one hip, lifting it up, exhaling for control. Come back to center, inhale, reset. Exhale, take the legs to the other side, come back to center. Every time you're back to center, you're inhaling to reset and using your exhale for control as you take those knees over to one side. It doesn't have to be a very big move because this is challenging, but I do want you to keep your focus here on the obliques at the side of the abs for control. Make sure they're working. Last one on each side. And resting down. Oh yeah, let's go into a wall-to-wall stretch. Stretch out, you've deserved it. You earned it. We have long arms, long legs. Lift the ribs up, arch the back, get that nice stretch out. Beautiful. All right, we're going to bring one knee all the way up to the chest, single leg stretch here, and just start to circle the ankle. Feel your body, feel those little crunches. The ankles work really hard all day, every day, running us around. So it's good to look after them. Good, and then bringing that top knee across the body, opening out the other arm, looking in the opposite direction. Getting the stretch there into those oblique muscles and a little bit into the lower back. Good, and then bringing the knee back up to the chest, extend that bottom leg long and swap sides. Other knee comes up, we're going to start to circle that ankle. Make sure you go both directions. Good, and then bringing that knee across, open out the other arm. Try to keep the shoulder blades down against the mat, and we're looking towards our fingertips with our eyes. Feel that gentle stretch. Enjoy it. Stay connected to your breath. Good, and then bring that leg back up. Extend that bottom leg, reach it out, extending through the toes. Good, and coming back down. We're going into our pelvic bridges. So going back to crook position, we've got our natural arch in the lower back. Pelvis is flat. Shoulders are down and back. Reposition yourself so you feel like you're natural, neutral. Palms down beside you. As you inhale and tighten your T-zone, you're going to tilt that pelvis back, flattening your lower back, and then squeeze the booty, slowly lifting the spine one vertebra at a time until you're in a neutral position. So not overextending the lower back, and you've got a nice straight line between your shoulders and your knees. Inhale just a little bit here to reset that ceiling of your T-zone, and then exhale, walk the spine back down one vertebra at a time, all the way back to neutral position. So that is our pelvic bridge. We're going to do these a few times. Stay aware of your breath. You're going to inhale to tighten the T-zone just a little bit, tilting back, and then exhale. Nice long exhales, walking those vertebrae up off the mat. Little inhale to reset the core, and then a long exhale back down. Make sure the breathing is good. Make sure you've got that ceiling for your core, protecting the lower back here. Notice the booty tight and strong, lifting that dense, heavy bone of the pelvis up to the sky. Back down. It's a good visualization to imagine your spine is like a string of pearls, and you're lifting them one after the other all the way up to a straight line and lowering them back down, using your breath for control, keeping the shoulders down and back. Good, we're going to hold our bridge this time and do a couple of challenging heel lifts. So just pressing the toes of one foot down and lifting the heel and lower. Alternate other leg, lift and lower, lift and lower. Keeping the booty, both cheeks engaged so the hips don't drop. Keeping the core engaged so your lower back's not taking over. We want the booty and the calves to be doing the work here. Do a couple of doubles now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, back to neutral, lower the spine all the way down, 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 and bring your knees up to your chest. Give them a hug. Little rock from side to side here, just loosen up that lower back. Beautiful. We're going to go into our hamstring stretch. So if you've got a strap, you can use a belt or a scarf or anything. We're going to put that around the bottom of our foot and extend that leg up long. The other leg goes down, extends along the floor. We're going to use this strap for control over the stretch, but just remember you want to gradually increase the intensity. Don't go too hard, too fast and cause the body to spasm up. We want the muscles to feel encouraged to deepen their flexibility. So start here, flex the toes back towards the shins, a little rotate there of that leg right to the hip, well, right down into the sit bones. It helps us to identify where the muscles are connected. We're going to bring the knee to the chest and drive the toes up. You will feel a little bit of a shake. It's normal. Don't worry about it. Use your breath to try to soften and gain control. The idea here is the more that you bend the knee, then the more you can push the toes overhead, and that will help get to that deep, thick part of the hamstrings here. Breathe through it. Try to get your jaw and your forehead to soften, your upper body to relax. Just focus on getting that stretch, working with your body. Little bend of the knee, little toe kicks. So every time we're kicking the toes towards our head, we're activating more of the stretch there. Beautiful, that feels good. Let's swap sides. Extending both legs out, one up towards the ceiling, little flex of the toes, rotate there, feel the muscle, become aware of the ones you want to stretch, and then a bend of the knee towards the chest. Toes push overhead, hold there, and breathe through it. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just keep listening to your body. Use the strap to fight for your flexibility. Don't worry about the shake too much. It just means that you're really getting into those tight muscles. They're resisting. Breathe through it. Good, feels good. All right, you can put your strap down. We're gonna come all the way over onto the sides of our body now. Ready for side lying mermaid. So we want to get that nice twisting stretch through the upper back here. So starting with the forehand down on the mat, forearm down, palm down, elbow is underneath the shoulder. That top knee is going to drop down behind the bottom one to make us long through the top half of the body. Try not to collapse down into your shoulder. You want to hold yourself up strong. And we're going to use that top arm to twist and reach around and extend out. Couple of deep breaths. Reaching. Good, and then opening that arm up, following the fingertips with our eyes, squeezing the shoulder blades back and together and opening out the chest. Keeping that top knee down against the floor. Good, and then reach around. You're going to do this a couple of times on each side. Up. Good, and resting down. You're going to come all the way down onto the floor. You can rest your head down on your long outstretched arm. We're going to bring the knees all the way up into that 90-degree position. So this is our booty burn bit. We're going to get these glute medius muscles right here on the outside of the booty working. You want to make sure that you're not collapsed into your waist here. Okay, so that hip is going to press away from the rib. So it's stacked one on top of the other, and then you're going to drive that hip forward so that if you're looking at your knees, they should be unlevel, that top knee overlapping the bottom one. You're going to inhale, tighten your tummy, so hold that hip bone in place so that as you lift the leg, the hip doesn't roll open. Inhale, tummy tight. Exhale, lift. Hold here. Give a little smack. That'll help wake up that muscle and bring your focus to make sure you're working that muscle correctly. Lower as you inhale to tighten the tummy and exhale to lift. Try to imagine something heavy pressing down on the outside of the knee, or you can even press yourself just so you get a feel to make sure that that muscle is working properly. Inhale, tummy on. Exhale, squeeze up. Good, you should be starting to feel it getting warm. If you're really pressing up, imagining that the air is thick, resisting, using your mind. You don't need to use straps. You
can really get these muscles working. But if you're feeling like you're having trouble getting that resistance, you can always tie a TheraBand around the top parts of your legs, and that will increase the intensity for you. Good. We're going to hold 2 and 3. Lower down, inhale, reset the core. Exhale, hold 2, 3. Inhale down, hold 2, 3. Good. And squeeze, hold 2, 3. It's really starting to feel warm now. We're going to halve this. So we're going to lower and stop, hit the brakes, and then lower the rest of the way. Lift and pause, and then lift that last little bit. You should only really be to this position at the highest part of the movement, and then stop, hit the brakes, and lower. So we're trying to use different muscle fibers here to gain control of the brake there. So that pause and lift, and pause and lower, and pause and lift, pause and lower. You should be really feeling it. It's that control that we want. Let's up the speed now. So pause, lift, pause, lower, pause, lift, and lower. Lift and pause. Halfway, and lift. Oh yeah, feeling it now. Whoo, use your breath and hold there. You're going to extend that leg out long, drive that hip towards the heel. I want you to turn your toes down, and we're going to do little heel lifts. I want you to squeeze into your booty as you lift. 1, 2, 3, bend the knee back, push the whole femur, that hip along that top thigh bone, out through the kneecap. Extend out, toes down. Oh yeah, I know you're burning, you're doing well, stay with me. 2, 3, and back, and rest down. Oh yeah, give it a smack, give it a rub. Oh yeah, we're gonna stretch it because we don't wanna have it sore. So roll onto your back. We're gonna take the bottom leg that wasn't used, take it really wide off your mat, and you're going to try to bring it up high back towards this booty here. That top ankle is going to slot down on the outside of the knee. So this is the leg that we were just working. We're going to bring the knee across the body here towards the shoulder, and you can already start to feel it there in that sweet spot. But then you can use that bottom knee as a lever out the ankle by pressing the knee out and then bringing the knee across, and keep working with those two movements. This knee comes across, this knee comes across, this knee, this knee. Try to let your upper body relax. Enjoy the stretch. You deserve it after working it so hard. Keep levering, feeling that stretch. Beautiful. And we're going to swap sides now. So coming all the way to the other side of the mat, we're going to start with that mermaid, that side-lying mermaid that we were just doing before. So forearm comes down, top knee drops behind the bottom one. We're going to make sure that elbow is underneath the shoulder. We're lifted up, not sunken down into the shoulder joint, and that top arm comes all the way up, and we're stretching out, extending long. Breathing deeply, feeling that twist right down all the different points of the body where you feel the stretch, and then opening up the chest, trying to get those fingers really as far from the elbow as possible. Nice straight line, looking up with our eyes, feeling the chest open, shoulder blades squeezing back. Good, and then reach around. Nice little torso twist. Good, and then extending up, reaching, open up. Good, and then resting down. You guys can rest your head down on your outstretched arm. I'm going to lift up. So I just want to protect your neck. Bring the knees up nice and high to 90 degrees. Again, we're going to burn the booty on the other side now. All right, so you're going to make sure that hip is down away from the ribs. We're not collapsed here into the waist. We're stacking those hips on top of each other. Push all the way forward. Top knee overlapping the bottom one. We're going to lift T-zone is tight, so that as you lift your exhale, keeping that hip joint in place, squeezing here into the booty. Give it a little smack, wake it up. Try to use your awareness to switch off the bottom butt cheek, which will be still working from before. Shift the focus, good. Inhale, tummy on. Exhale as you lift. Inhale on. Exhale, lift. Remember that idea of something heavy on the outside, pressing down. Squeeze into it. Good, you should be starting to feel that muscle working now. We're gonna hold, 2, 3. Inhale, tummy on, lift. Hold, 2, 3. Inhale, tummy on. Hold, 2, 3. Nice. And hold, 2, 3. Last one. Hold, 2, 3. We're going to start halving it. So halfway and hit the brakes. And then lower that last little bit. Switch it on. Lift and then lift a little higher. Pause and lower. Pausing now and lift. Keeping that T-zone, holding that hip bone in place so we're not rocking out. And lift. Lower. Pause and break. Good. Feeling it working. Use your breath. I know it's hurting. Good. We're going to up the pace now. So halfway and lift and halfway lower. Halfway lift, halfway lower. Halfway lift, halfway lower. Really make sure you're getting that definite stop. Good. And then holding up, we're going to extend that leg long, turn the toes down, press that leg all the way out through the heel and press the heel up for 1, 2, 3. And then bringing the knee back, keeping that little gap and extend out long. 1, 2, 3. Good. And back and resting down. Oh yeah. Feel it, rub it out, and let's stretch it out, rolling onto our back. Good. Taking that bottom leg, the one that wasn't just used, wide, high, close to this booty here. Dropping the ankle down on the outside of the knee and bring the knee across the body. Nice, deep, soft breaths. Let your upper body relax. Your jaw is soft. No tension in your forehead. Feel that sweet spot and then use that bottom leg, lever it out. Bring the knee across. Oh yeah. Stay with it. Feels so good. Beautiful. And resting down. All right, so come all the way over onto our tummy now. We're going to do flight. We want to strengthen some of those muscles down the center of our back that pull the shoulder blades back and into place. So we're going to come down, down onto our tummy, face lying. Forehead is down on the mat and the arms are back by the sides. So what we're going to do here is inhale, tighten the tummy, and lift the shoulder blades back and then drive those extended arms up towards the ceiling. You want to keep your neck neutral so the eyes are still on the mat. We're going to start to rotate those palms up, palms down, working right up into the triceps with these rotations, up into the shoulder joint. Squeezing the shoulder blades back, getting that lift, the chest and the head lift off the mat, squeezing and rotating. Oh yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going to do leg extensions here, so you can bring your hands up and rest your forehead on them. And we're going to extend one leg from the hip joint. So you want to get that kind of apple shape in the booty. We're going to exhale, hold, 2, 3, and lower. Alternate legs. Hold, 2, 3. Other leg. Hold, 2, 3. Good. Feel the whole weight of the leg lift by the booty. Hold, 2, 3. Keep alternating. Try not to let the lower back do the work. You really want it to be the booty that's doing the work here. Drive those heels up. Nice long locked legs.
Beautiful. Come up into swan, palms beside us and down. A little half swan to start with, just to get that extension in the lower back prepared. And then when you're ready, you can extend up. Lift your chin and chest, let your shoulders drop back. And lower all the way down, right down. And then up we go again. Feel that nice extension in the lower back. And last one. Up, up, up. And down. Coming up onto our hands and knees. Walking to the top of the mat for a mountain climber stretch. One foot reaches back, toes into the mat, push the heels away. Stretching right down through the calf muscle. Feels good. This is good to stretch out after we did those heel lifts in our bridges from before. Let's swap sides. Good. Coming up into a lunge position now, knee down, foot flat on the floor in front. What we want to do is actually tuck that pelvis under so the pubic bone's coming up towards the belly button. That'll help activate that hip flexor here. And we're just going to lean forward, driving that knee over the toes, getting that stretch here. If you want to deepen the stretch, you can always lift your back foot up and press the toes down. That'll help. Little inhale, tuck that hip pelvis under, exhale into the hip flexor. Stretch down. Every little inhale, you're just thinking of re-tilting that pelvis. Good, we're going to swap sides. Coming up onto the toes on the back foot. Little tuck underneath of the pelvis and stretch forward. And under and down. All right, come down, wide knees, all the way with the booty back to the heels, and walk those hands out long. We're going to finish with a prayer stretch.
Just take some deep breaths here into your belly and your lower back. Picture yourself at the cross, soaking up all that grace. And then begin to walk the hands back up,
All the way up until you're ready to relax. So now you can find somewhere to lay flat, somewhere quiet, where you can search through the YouTube channel and find one of our relaxations, meditations. You'll notice that the benefits that you get from Sanctuary Stretch are not just physical. You will get the physical benefits of improved flexibility, posture, core control, strength, but also the mindfulness techniques throughout these classes help to settle the nervous system so that your mind can be more focused and you can get the best benefits out of the relaxations. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Bend, breathe, and believe.